we're going to knock you out with this morning's guest. Who is he? You'll meet him coming up next on Carolina People. Good morning. Welcome to Carolina People. This morning we're at Pepper Gettings Recreation Center in the heart of Myrtle Beach. We're focused on an upcoming charity golf tournament to be held on Sunday, September 9th at the Legends Golf Course. And we're visiting with the founder of Champion for Kids, the presenter of that golf tournament, the champ, the Reverend James Bonecrusher Smith. Good morning,
Good
Reverend.
morning. How are you?
Champ, my Lord. It's with that many notoriety, that many names there, it's tough to know which one. Can we call you Champ?
You please call me Champ.
On a Friday morning. I know you're in town for tomorrow morning's golf tournament at Myrtlewood, but of course the real focus is the big tournament on Saturday, September 9th. Sunday, September 9th.
Yes, at 9 o'clock, and Tiffany Andrews is the contact person. She's the tournament director, but we're bringing Lou Brock, George Rogers, a whole bunch of legends are coming home. The legends are coming home to the legends.
They really are, to the Legends Golf Course. I saw the Moreland out there, which is a tremendous course.
A beautiful, tough golf course.
Have you played it?
I've played it a few times. It's played me too.
It's worth making the trip down. I saw at y'all's website at championforkids.org. There's a link there to signing up, to potentially being a sponsor. Do you still have some sponsorship opportunities?
Yeah, we got all kinds of opportunities there, and the contact information is there. So feel free to call and let's get together and participate and have a great time for the students over at Georgetown Technical College.
Absolutely, and I saw there was also an opportunity to support Shaw University in your native state.
That's exactly right. In Raleigh, North Carolina, we're going to do a little scholarship with mentoring with the kids there also.
Nothing better than a good technical college, as well as the opportunity to support Shaw. Horry Georgetown Tech does so much for this community, and so many of those students stay right here. So it's really an ability to be out at Legends in the heart of Horry and to be able to support a school that commits so much back to this community. That's tremendous.
I'm excited.
Absolutely. And you've got a lineup there. If folks go in, they can see a minimum of 20 of the confirmed legends. As you mentioned, James Rogers and so many others. But taking the time to visit championforkids.org is really worth some time. There's also some great information about you as a boxer and obviously as the champ there.
That's right. You know, I boxed professionally for 18 years.
18 years?
Yeah, and won the title in 1986. First guy to take Mike Tyson 12 rounds.
Is that right?
He was a fighter and not a biter.
Give us an idea of what that was like. You started at what age there, Champ?
Well, when I was about 10 years old, grew up on the tobacco farm, God kind of laid on my heart. The Spirit came over me and to start running. And I was kind of like Forrest Gump. I ran everywhere I went and kind of stepped out on faith. And 23 years later, I get a call from a great promoter. If I call his name, you know who I was talking about. But most people recognize. When I say his hair stands straight up like that, he said, he called me up and he said, we got you that title fight. And we had been going through some litigation and different things. And I said, when? He said, next week. So he gave me 7 days to prepare. But I had a flashback, a Kodak moment, where 23 years earlier, God has just run. And I ran, and I was in shape. So I flew up to Madison Square Garden on a 7-day notice on HBO. I knocked Turbo Tim with a spoon down 3 times in the first round.
In the first round?
In the first round. And I became the first college graduate because I'd gone to college, community college, and then Shaw University, the business degree. I became the first college graduate in the history of boxing to win the title.
That is amazing.
Became the first heavyweight to win the title at Madison Square Garden. Never had it happen before, or it hasn't happened since.
Has it not? In literally 20 years.
At Madison Square Garden.
Right.
The sporting capital still of the world.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. And MSG Networks, they're out all over the world. I mean, they're really promoted to recognize that sensational mark. Is probably a thrill for you. You wake up every morning. I guess you probably don't think about it all the time. You're thinking so much about your Champion for Kids program and so many other things you're doing right now. But I'm sure folks think and want to ask you about those experiences, what it was like preparing for that bout.
Well, you know, the main thing was just running, and another thing about my career was that I started my first professional fight was at the age of 28.
Is that so? That was probably considerably later than most.
Well, George Foreman retired at 28, and Ray Leonard. Both of those guys retired. They made comebacks, but they retired at age 28. So I'm going out starting. But as I speak to people, not just kids this morning, I want to let you know it's never too late to start.
That's a great point.
It's never too late to start. And the key is to be ready. If it's 7 days or 70 years or whatever it is, just be ready. When you get the call, be ready, whatever it is. Just be ready for the opportunity.
Was that divine inspiration? You know, you talk about it all. We had a reverend on, a minister on, who does ministry part-time on the weekends, who was a boxer, not like yourself, not a professional boxer, but boxed a lot. And he talked about the difficulty of being in the ring and also being a devoted Christian. And so he felt that during much of his tenure as a boxer, he couldn't connect with Christ. Were you able to connect and remain active in your Christian life?
Absolutely. The faith and the Spirit, when the Spirit of the Lord come upon you, you have more strength, more power. The power comes as the Spirit of the Lord comes. So I had supernatural power, big, strong guy, but through the Spirit. I have to get you one of my DVDs, and you see how I turn the hands loose so fast, so big, but so fast. The Spirit of the Lord moves fast.
You did not get that nickname Bonecrusher for...
Can you imagine?
Sit back. Move back, please. Son of a gun on a Friday morning. Obviously, those poor guys got to play with you tomorrow at Myrtlewood. But again, big focus on Sunday, September 9th, and championforkids.org is a great place to learn about that. You know, as you think about so much that has to happen, how about competing with other Christian boxers who probably had that similar supernatural strength? Did you ever take on any that, and did you all communicate before fights, or was it a lot of mental focus to make sure that you could just take him on?
Well, the bigger fights, you know, we had press conferences and we had to travel different places and do events together. And but a lot of times people don't understand the importance of serving the Lord.
Right.
And part of my mentoring and part of the purpose of establishing Champion for Kids is, and what I speak on a lot, is to be a good person. No matter what you decide to do in life, a reporter or fighter or an attorney or doctor, whatever you decide to do with your life, be a good person first. Have good character.
Right.
And it's hard sometimes because, especially in some families, because they grew up without their father. But I was blessed to have my mama and my daddy.
Yes.
And they did not spare the rod. There was one verse in the Bible that they stuck to. Spare not the rod and spoil the child.
That's exactly.
They didn't have to put the rod on me too many times, because I learned when I messed up, the rod was coming right after that.
Absolutely.
And I related a beating to messing up. And it didn't take me too long. So I knew when I ever became an adult, for all the beatings I had, I was going to give somebody a beating.
You were not going to spare the rod.
I was not going to spare the rod.
Yeah, that's hilarious. And that has shown, I'm sure, both as a parent as well as in a child life. Are your folks still living?
My mom is alive. My dad had a stroke and passed a couple years ago, and good Christian man, and he taught us entrepreneurship. He never had no more than a fourth or fifth grade education, but he never went out and worked for someone. He always was an entrepreneur, and it kind of gave me the entrepreneurial spirit. So that's what I mentor people on right now, how they can go out and be an entrepreneur. Absolutely.
You highlighted that entrepreneurial spirit in Bonecrusher Travel. I think something you're doing now to help folks with Horry Georgetown Tech and otherwise. Share with us a little bit about Bonecrusher Travel.
Well, on the 7th of September, I'm bringing the president and the founder of YTB Travel Network. And starting out in 07, but 08, we're going to, every year to Myrtle Beach, we're going to have a convention and different things. And we're going to let people know they can go on vacation. They can have fun. They can go to Maui like I'm going for Thanksgiving.
You are, great.
And I can book that on my travel website. It's just like Expedia, Cheap Ticket, Orbitz, Priceline, online travel. They can, for a small fee, they can have their own business, own travel agency, and get paid. I get paid to have fun.
Tremendous. At Bonecrusher Travel.
Bonecrushertravel.com.
So you said that's right before the tournament on September 7th.
We're going to do an opportunity meeting on 7:30 at the college.
Right.
And then on Saturday, we're going to do a certification, an all-day event at the college, at the auditorium. And we're going to let people know they can just sit in. There are going to be several millionaires there, the people that have made $1 million in the last 12 months.
Tremendous.
And they're going to be there giving presentations, showing people how they can get involved. How can they can dedicate 5 to 10 years of their time and become a millionaire right here in Myrtle Beach.
That's tremendous.
I'm bringing it here. The Legends is coming home. The Legends.
I love it. I love it. That's going to be a big weekend.
Legends of travel.
When you think about so much that has to happen to actually become a millionaire, I mean, it's a big effort. Having experienced what that's like, and at the same time keeping your Christian faith there, experience it and making a difference for others. It's a great thing, isn't it?
Good character, good behavior. We see athletes all the time that, they make a lot of money. And sometimes money can be dangerous if you don't know how to handle it.
Right.
And they got to understand that where money comes, responsibility comes. And to have character and have that training when you're a kid, so important to be a responsible parent.
Yes.
Because I think I know my mentoring came from my parents. Mm-hmm. But we want to get other legends together, like Mitch and Eva Lawrence.
Absolutely.
And local legends. And we want to get them together and be mentors over at the college. Mm-hmm. We want to get together over there. I want to do it on a weekly basis and let kids know that we're successful people in business and in life. But you can be successful. You can be a good person. You can also be an entrepreneur.
Absolutely.
And enjoy fun, family, and travel.
You're currently living where now, champ?
I live in Lillington, near Fayetteville, North Carolina.
Great, good.
And but I soon will be living in Myrtle Beach.
Oh, come on. Boy, that'd be tremendous.
I think the legend is coming home to the legend.
And growing up, you said it was
Magnolia.
Is that in Duplin County?
Duplin County.
In Duplin County?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Did you have brothers and sisters growing up?
Yeah, I got 3 brothers and 2 sisters. And I think several of them are coming down to the September the 9th event. My mom's coming down, I think. And
great.
Myrtle Beach is a nice place to visit, nice place to come. And I believe it to be a nice place to live, too.
Absolutely. It's a tremendous place. So many folks of all ages move here and make this their home. And, of course, on a Friday, and you're preparing for a golf tournament tomorrow, I know, here at Myrtlewood. But whatever day of the week it is, whether it's in the summer, the fall, the spring, folks find that this is a prime place to be. And for 2 Tar Heel natives, we've obviously found a great interest here. As you think about, and we talked about obviously preparing to get in the ring, for you it had been, I think I saw it was maybe April of '85 before you won the big fight there in December of '86. So it was more than a year and a half between an early fight and that one, and then it was so quick thereafter that you were taking on Mike Tyson. What about those long lengths of time? Had you thought maybe in '85 you were going to step away from boxing before getting that call to get in the ring in December of '86?
I had to get refocused, and the longer you can stay focused on your goal, the better. And the key word, Jim Valvano has something, but just before he died, he said something very profound. Never give up. And I think a lot of times people get discouraged when things don't go their way.
Right.
And Murphy Law sets in. Some days nothing go right. And but they must stay focused. And I think the closer they can be with the Lord, the more focused they will be, and they will have the faith that's necessary to achieve their goal.
Yeah. Let's talk about 5 years ago, preparing to found Champion for Kids. It was in 2002. What was it that made you recognize how important it was to set up an organization like this, and then to annually put on these tremendous? This is the 4th annual Champ Bonecrusher Smith Golf Classic. What was it that back in '02 that got you going on that?
Well, of all the things that I'm doing now and all the things I've done in my life, being a world boxing champion is going to rank up there. It's pretty high.
Right.
And I knew I was a champion, and I knew I had the college background and the first college background to become heavyweight champion of the world. And I just kind of mentally put all that together and say, well, this is something that I can do. This is how I can build a legacy and be remembered. And this is how I can create a mentoring scholarship.
Right.
With my name on it. And I not only just do it here, I probably can do it wherever I want to.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Set it up anywhere. Well, you highlighted earlier this morning before we started filming the aspect about our lives are so short and why it's so critical to think about what we can leave behind, since someone said last week, you've never seen a U-Haul behind a hearse. And it's important to think about it that way because you just can't take anything with you.
The Bible says a good man, which means a woman too, leave an inheritance for his children and children's children. So this is something I set as a foundation so my kids, my daughters, can run it when I'm gone, and also, they can have something they need. My daddy was the heavyweight champ in the world, and they can always cling on to that.
I'm sure they do anyway, absolutely. Even though that was 20 years ago,
yeah.
Do you keep up with some of those folks before you who were champions before you and afterwards? Do you all have a good rapport? Is there some rapport together with other heavyweight champions worldwide?
Absolutely. In a couple of days, I'm going out to Las Vegas. I fought in Vegas on 6 times, and I'm going out there. From time to time, I go out there. I have some agents. I got over 3,000 travel agents in my organization.
No way. And the Bonecrusher travel?
Yes, sir.
Wow.
I get paid when I sleep.
That's a tremendous thing to think about. Bonecrushertravel.com.
Yes.
Okay, great. So you're heading out to Vegas.
To see some more people. I do seminars and workshops, and I just let people know that this opportunity is alive and as well, and they can retire sooner, which I think is better than later.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. We brought here, and of course it's sitting here on the set. I wish we'd had this all week, to think of our guest earlier this week, to have not had the experience of sitting here with a belt like this. This thing is gorgeous.
The World Boxing Association belt is one that I won. It was the original belt. Since then it's the WBC and the IBF and different belts has come along. So I was lucky enough and just kind of positioned myself. I really don't believe in love. I believe in working hard. I can sleep all day now, but I don't want to. I'd be so excited.
Oh, yeah.
But I have to go out and tell the good news.
Right.
And I'd be excited about that. I was excited about being on air today. And I just want to share with everybody. And I just have a giving, sharing spirit. And I just want to build my extended family. And they can join me in the ministry and also in the travel business.
Absolutely. Very important to think about. As you think back to age 10 when God gave you that call to start running, you said it was 18 years in the interim before
23 years.
Before you became a professional, before you did that.
I was 33 when I won the title.
Is that right?
Yes.
33 years. So
yes.
That 23 years of training for the
being faithful and committed.
Right.
I don't know how many people will actually, not knowing why they're doing something,
right,
to actually commit to it for that long.
How'd you keep the faith? That's amazing. I can't even think about it.
Can you imagine keeping the faith for that long?
I cannot.
And then can you imagine the feeling of actually accomplishing that night when I actually, oh man, it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
A lot of people ask me, how did that feel?
Yeah. We got about 5 minutes. Just give us a little insight into December 12th of 86. So we're talking more than 20 years ago.
Yes.
20 and a half years ago. Give viewers a sense of that. It's 7:25 now.
Well,
give them a sense of
I had fought Witherspoon before.
Right.
And this was the second time we were fighting. He had won the first fight on a 12-round decision. And I knew that this guy starts slow, but he gets stronger as the fight goes on. And I said, well, I'm going to stop this guy before he gets to pick up steam.
Right.
So the very first punch I hit him with was around the ear, and I kind of knocked his equilibrium off. And then I guess you say the rest is kind of like history. And I just jumped right on him. And a matter of fact, I'll get you a DVD. It's a 10-minute. I call it Bonecrusher's Greatest Hits.
Yeah.
Me and Tyson, me and Witherspoon, me and a lot of the guys on there, and it's just a lot of action.
That's tremendous, yeah. So even the fight back in March of '87 against Tyson, you said you went against him, went 12 rounds with him.
When he was 21 years old.
When he was 21, when he was an absolute machine.
He was a machine.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah. And so you were what age then?
I was
34, I guess.
Yeah,
33 or 34.
33 years old.
So he was almost. That's incredible.
Yeah, and to take it that round, and I got cut in the first round, so that I was losing blood and I getting weaker as the fight going on, and I still was able to the will of actually doing that. And I hit him with a shot in the 12th round. He staggered. If I hit him just a bit over a little bit, he'd probably gone down.
Have you ever seen that where you know you've done the right hit and you know that's the one?
Oh,
I mean, what is it in their eyes or just the way you feel the connection's made?
It's a solid connection of the punch.
Right. We got 5 minutes. We just think about, of course, preparation. So oftentimes running, exercising. For folks these days, do you encourage young ones to think about boxing as a career, or are there aspects of it these days that may be almost too scary to get into? I mean, you're blessed that you not only had an education beforehand, but that your mind's still strong enough to have maintained that education afterwards. So oftentimes, I guess the mental poundings mean that you really can't keep it all together.
You know, I don't really encourage young folks to do boxing. It's just so tough and so hard, and getting hit upside the head. And, you know, a lot of the guys like Muhammad Ali and different guys, and Holyfield, he's going to mess around and he stay around too long. He's still fighting. And he has slurred speech now, and a lot of guys just don't know when to quit. And once you lose your mind, you've lost pretty much everything. So I don't really encourage guys to do that. It's just too tough.
Muhammad Ali, is that someone you got to know at an early age?
Yep, I spent a lot of time with him. Whenever he came to North Carolina, we'd always get together, and he's been to a lot of my fights, and he's a pretty awesome guy. He inspired me to be a fighter, really.
Is that right?
Yeah.
And other inspirations, obviously, your parents, to a great degree, your God-fearing parents, who, as you shared, that aspect, spare the rod, spoil the child. Clearly, they didn't spare it. They did the right things at an early age. Who were some of the other inspirations for you? Clearly, Jesus Christ.
My grandmother and my uncle, businessman, and just kind of mentor my teachers. I listen to my teachers, and that's what I want to encourage kids to do now. Your strugglers and your teachers, listen to them, and your parents, because they want the very best for you.
Yeah. Your daughters are inspirations as well?
Absolutely.
I know you talked about that.
Two daughters at North Carolina Central, and I get together with them, and I said, I remember what it was like when I was in college. I said, I want you to call me at least once a week.
Good.
Yeah. I want you to say, Daddy, I miss you. Daddy, I love you. Daddy, can I have some money?
You know what that call's about. Yeah. You see the dollar sign popping up on your cell phone. That's right. Yeah. That's hilarious. It's so much activity. Break down the first 3 tournaments. We just got a couple of minutes as we think about, now we're going into the 4th tournament, Sunday, September 9th, Legends Golf Course up there on Highway 501. Give a sense of what the first 3 were like and how you knew this was going to be something you'd keep doing year after year right here in Myrtle Beach.
Well, the first one was you kind of learn your way on the first 2 or 3.
Right.
And then we think this one's going to be a huge success, and being the first time in Myrtle Beach. And then the name of the guys is coming. I mean, I never would have thought that I'd
Michael
have
Dean Perry and Al Woods,
and Lou Brock. These type guys. I never would have thought to have these kind of guys in my coffee.
No way, absolutely. So your first 3 tournaments were not here in Myrtle.
Yeah, they were in Fayetteville.
Is that right? Tremendous. Yeah. Probably a lot easier to get them down to Myrtle Beach. Nothing against Fayetteville. We've got deep ties in Cumberland County. I love that area. But the opportunity to get folks, of course, to Myrtle Beach.
The golf capital of the world.
It is. There is nothing like it. There is nothing like it. What's your handicap? Do you play that much?
I can shoot in the 80s. I play at least once a week, sometimes twice a week. There again, I'm always on vacation.
Yes, that's right. Bonecrusher Travel. And that's a great opportunity. Folks can learn a lot more about you at bonecrushertravel.com.
That's right. That's right.
Bonecrushertravel.com, or even more importantly, Champion for Kids.
That's exactly right.
.org. And you've got a federal tax ID here. All that information's there. There's a lot of tremendous sponsorship opportunities. Still maybe even a tournament sponsor?
Absolutely,
okay,
yes.
Good.
Absolutely, yes.
Folks can go there, and Tiffany Andrews, the local contact, as you think, so many activities in your life. The most important aspect for you that you want to get across to our viewers today?
Well, having a personal relationship with God, because He will direct your path. If you get into trouble or if you need help, if you just call on the Lord, you just lift Him up, because the Word says, if thou shalt be lifted up from this earth, I'll draw all men and women, unto thee. And he's just kind of direct my path. I'm calling on Him, and I'm witnessing, and I'm reminding people that He is the way, the truth, and the light.
Those are great words. Thank you so much, Champ, for being with us this morning.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Stay tuned to more Carolina People with the champ, the Reverend Bonecrusher Smith, coming up next. Take down the time to write this number, 236-8214. That's 236-8214. Tiffany Andrews, tournament director. The tournament's getting close. You got a little more than 5 weeks to get ready. We're talking Sunday, September 9th. The Legends Golf Course, Moreland, right out there at the Legends Complex. Tremendous opportunity. George Rogers, Lou Brock, of course the champ here, Bonecrusher Smith, a tremendous opportunity to be a part of this. But most important, take the time to write down championforkids.org, championforkids.org. There's a lot of tremendous information on there. It shares with you a little bit of the story of Bonecrusher Smith, and of course 2002, a big year when he came up with the idea to set this up. It's got their federal tax ID number on there, so you can write a check as a sponsor. One person, $250, a foursome, a great opportunity. Get out there Sunday, September 9th. You can also look at bonecrushertravel.com. Think about that call, Christ calling him at age 10 to get ready, start running. You heard him talk about Forrest Gump. He's been running ever since. He was running back there in December of '86 when he won the World Boxing Association, became their champion, world champion. Think about that, world champion. bonecrushertravel.com or championforkids.org. Take a look online.